everyone, Alex here with the Burke County Public Libraries. Just wanted to take a few seconds out of your day as normal to kind of do two things. One, to give you an update of what my staff have been busy with the past few months, and two, just as a thank you to everybody. So, first and foremost, thank you to our patrons for just kind of bearing with us this past year. 2020 was definitely, I think, a year in the history books for a lot of our community members and a lot of our patrons. But on top of that, with us having to be closed for about 2.5 months, having restrictions in place due to how our phased reopening plan was set up, and all of that lovely stuff. Currently being closed to patrons in house right now, but allowing contactless pickup. It's just been trial and error and just crazy times. And for the most part, you guys have all stuck by us and understood that we're trying to protect not only you guys but our staff as well. Because if our staff gets sick, I don't have an unlimited workforce. That pretty much means that I have to close for a few days until I do have some staff that are able to do it. So, again, thank you. I know that probably at the end of this month, at every board meeting, the board always discuss the phase reopening plan and how we can make it better and how we can change it to kind of address what's currently happened in the community. Obviously, when the board was addressing the current issues at the end of November, we were going into holiday season and we were seeing a ramp up of our county turning red, and it's just kind of been like that ever since. So we kind of gave it about a month or two and to kind of see what was happening, get over this, holiday hump, to get a little bit better and a little bit secure footing. So I suspect that, we'll definitely see a change at the end of this month where we're no longer, exactly closed to patrons, but we might have a little bit more restrictions in place. I mean, we still had the restriction in place of, only so many people at the library at a time. However, we kind of didn't hit that as much. We didn't really have to enforce it because we weren't getting those numbers with 15 people at the main location and 7 people, patrons being allowed to come in at the branch. uh, it, we just had people trickling in here and there. So we're thinking that in the future we'll definitely be able to have a stronger plan. It can only get better, hopefully, every month from here. So first, thank you. And second, to kind of give you an update, we've been busy. I know that it might seem a little bit crazy with just restrictions and not being able to do certain programs in house and certain meetings and things of that capacity. But my staff has literally been busy this past year. We have been doing a huge rebar coding project, kind of to try to get it done before our merger happened, which happened last December or this past December. So last month we did merge with Norland Library Consortium was our library consortium, and we merged with another library consortium in West Virginia called the Mountain Library Consortium. We are now known as the West Virginia Library Network. You'll probably start seeing the logos, pop up here and there, in our newsletter, on our, social media and our websites and things of that nature. But it's pretty much just helping kind of make one cohesive, bigger group of all these libraries. There's about 109 or maybe 100 and a little over that, give or take, um, under one roof trying to service you guys in the state of West Virginia. Obviously, there's a couple other different consortiums and different library systems, but we are the largest now. So we were working on getting a lot of things in place for that. And one of them was a huge rebar coding project. So to keep this brief, we had old barcodes in the system for Burke County. They were 10 digits. So between the two locations, we had a ton of them that had to either be rebarcoded with the new 14 digits, which the 10 digits started with a 125 and the 14 digits are a 7011. So you guys will kind of might recognize that your library cards start with a 7012. So to kind of keep that in perspective for you, to kind of show you what my staff has kind of moved and grooved. In May of 2018, when we began the certain remarketing project, we had 33,451 titles, or I should say just items, to be recatalogued with a new barcode. When we ran the report again in December of 2019, we had 27,236 left between both locations. So we didn't make a huge dent. Obviously, that's when we were in normal capacity. It takes a lot, to be able to move this and still service the people that are coming in. But then fast forward to August 2020, you will know obviously we were closed for about 2.5 months, but between the December 2019 and August of 2020, we have 14,000 and only 27 left. So we made a huge dent. Over 10,000 barcodes had either been rebarcoded or items had been deleted from the system due to, wear and tear, just being in poor condition, and or because they were no longer circulating and taking up space for new books that are coming into the library. So we're always trying to keep, a rotation coming so that, we keep it fresh for you guys and that you can find things a lot easier and not have, very full shelves to kind of contend with. So, what I am glad to, I shouldn't even say glad, I'm super proud of the staff. Fast forward to yesterday, January 6th to 2021, we only have 2,548 left. In that category, there is actually only a handful that actually need rebarcode. There are some that are in missing or build status, so those will eventually be removed from the system. But when you come into the library and when you've been coming into the library, you might be noticing, there's parts of books everywhere. We're moving, transitioning places. That is what my staff has been involved with. And over the past month or two, we did a huge shifting. So both locations kind of have things in different areas, which really helps the flow of finding materials. Kind of helped a few areas that had expanded and grew out of the shelving space I had available. So when you're coming in, if you're kind of needing help with finding things, ask our staff. We are in the process of purchasing some new, location signs on the end of the stacks and at the end of the shelves so that you can find things a bit easier, but it'll take us time. So that is what we've been, very much focused on in, our quote unquote downtime. So again, thank you for sticking with us. Thank you for understanding what's going on. That we're just trying, it's a trial and error. There's no right or wrong answer, and there's no manual that we've been able to follow. It's unprecedented for this period of time. So just thank you for being with us. And we hope that everything that we've done in this time period, in this past year, I should say, that you guys have found to be, great changes, and that you're still enjoying using our libraries. So comment below if you have any suggestions. Comment below if you have any good things to share with us. But again, thank you and have a great 2021.